Rica had on exactly what I would wear to the funeral of my elderly rich husband who died in mysterious circumstances. She looks like she dumped the whole jar of glitter on herself by mistake. The Miss Grand International preliminary evening gown competition has concluded and I am so pleased with some of the gowns that we saw. This is going to be a super long video, so we best get into it. But before I wanted to talk about something, right? Do you remember how before the evening gown competition they were letting us know that all of these prior Miss Grand International queens and runners-up were in the building? They were going through all of them one by one, mentioning them by name. You know, some of them were even wearing their tiaras and their crowns and all of that. And I saw that since CJ Opiaza, who was the first runner-up at last year's competition, is now the crowned Miss Grand International. I saw that because she is now the reigning, the second runner-up from 2024 is now the first runner-up, the third runner-up is now the second runner-up, etc. So all of the girls got promoted when the previous Miss Grand International resigned and CJ got the title. And I just thought that it was interesting that like all of the runners-up from 2024, all of the main ones, were present. What I'm taking a long time to get to is I'm wondering, right, whether or not they invited all of these former winners and also these runner-ups from last year in order to prove, you know, like as a PR strategy, in order to prove to us that the organization still has a good relationship with their former queens and runners-up, and that the title holder who resigned, you know, that she's the only one who has a problem with the organization. I wonder if this was the strategy. This is not what most of you clicked on this video for, so I'm extremely sorry. Let's get into the gowns. First off, Angola! I thought that this color was beautiful. I think the color suits her extremely well. Her shoes, however, are black. They don't match her skin tone, but I think the shoes are sponsored, so I don't think the girls have a lot of say over how the shoes look. And I think the shoe sponsor is an Asian sponsor, so there might not be brown shoes in order to blend with African skin. But I do love orange, and I do love orange on her. It's just the shoes that throw me off. Then we have Albania. I don't like the stripper heels. You guys know how I feel about this. She's also wearing a new dress with undergarments showing, which I hate. I don't think it's anything special. I don't love Albania's look. I thought Argentina was interesting. It's so different, and the white makes it look very angelic. Armenia, guys, I'm wondering, was the cult cloak really necessary? The gold on the dress itself is also too yellowy. I don't know, it looks a bit like plastic to me. For Australia, I think Australia's performance needs a bit of work, but this, guys, I love the look. Very grand. Who said red is only for brunettes? Nobody probably said that, it's probably just me. Belgium had a very, very stiff performance, and the dress itself is also really nothing special compared to Australia. Bolivia has a stunning dress, but she is struggling to walk. How is this dress not tailored? Did she choose shorter shoes last minute? I don't know what's going on here. Brazil, I can't decide if I love or hate it. Overall, it is beautiful, but I hate details like visible meshing. You guys know this about me, but her performance was quite good. Canada had a beautiful performance. I don't love the shade of yellow. It's a very like green leaning yellow. China was wearing red. Groundbreaking. I mean, guys, she's just not fierce enough. She is not fierce enough to pull off this look or this color. For Colombia, I feel like Vina Pravina from Miss Universe Thailand was the inspiration for this look. It's very beautiful and regal and attention-grabbing. Costa Rica had on exactly what I would wear to the funeral of my elderly rich husband who died in mysterious circumstances. I don't love how stiff it is at the bottom for some reason, but I love the unapologetic fierceness of this look. Cuba was okay. I feel like I have seen this look before. At least it's not nude. With the Czech Republic, she was wearing that giant piece of cotton candy too long, and then she also had the audacity to reveal a jumpsuit. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm not sure it's evening gown, not evening pants. For Denmark, I don't think there's anything wrong with the dress. It's the performance that is really struggling. The Dominican Republic, it looks like she's carrying a piece of plastic on her back. I think it's very innovative that the dress incorporates Miss Grand International's logo. It's overall intriguing and I think it's a good look. And the performance also isn't bad, it's just that piece of plastic thing. Ecuador looks like a beautiful pink and silver chandelier. No complaints, except for how she's cramped into the mic. Ecuador! With Egypt, she has strong Cleopatra Queen vibes, and I see that she's also taken inspiration from Peru when it comes to the knee injury. With El Salvador, guys, now this dress I love. A classic, a style that really never goes out of style. And her performance could have been more, but you know, I can't complain about the look really. With France, I love the gown. There is a lot of detail and it's a bit busy, but the color keeps it soft and feminine somehow. When Georgia came up, oh girl, if you don't get off stage in your 2017 gold and nude. With Germany, I hate the neckline on this. Also, she definitely has no walk training. For Ghana, her intro is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. And how gorgeous and unique is her look? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Love Ghana. Guatemala tried singing like Ghana. It didn't work out so well, but I think her dress is lovely and she is so beautiful. Guyana has pretty Phoenix vibe, but not extremely memorable. The performance is very careful and lacking excitement for me. Haiti, guys, wow. The new lava dress, or like, it's like Coles when you're having a braai, you know what I mean? It's giving Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games. I adore this. Well done, Haiti. Hong Kong has a beautiful concept for a dress. It's lacking dimension and 3D details though. She is also not really selling it with a performance. Hungary. Oh my gosh, guys. Girl! Leave that cape alone and find something else to do with your hands. I actually do like the look. It's a gorgeous dress, but the way she was performing was annoying me so much. For Iceland, the feathers makes it give parrot, or you know, the time you dye your chicken green when you were 11, or was that just me? India, guys. Now this really reminds me of Catriona's lava dress in 2018. Stunning. So impactful. Indonesia came out with another dress, I think, that was inspired by Vina Pravina. I think this will become a trend very likely, but I think it's a very pretty trend. Italy, guys. She looks like she dumped the whole jar of glitter on herself by mistake. Also, is the headpiece really necessary? I don't know, this look is just more comedic than awe-inspiring for me. With Jamaica, I love how different and avant-garde this is. But does it suit the woman wearing it? That is the question. Japan came out looking like a beautiful golden angel. Sadly, no backflips and cartwheels for this performance. There are already enough injuries at Miss Grand International this year, to be honest with you. Kazakhstan looks like it was molded to her body. Gorgeous. I don't get the silver shoes though, but the rest, 10 out of 10. Kosovo came out. She struggled to balance in office heels, and her gown wasn't even in sight of her feet. This woman is just too funny. Very like Colombia vibes, if you know what I mean. It doesn't suit the woman wearing it, but I do love how this dress looks. Lao looked like a beautiful exotic fish. Absolutely mesmerizing. Macau came out, and someone needs to take my fever, guys, because I think I'm getting ill. I am starting to get more and more okay with black on stage. This wasn't my favorite by any means. I'm just saying I'm starting to vibe with the idea of black on stage, and the end is nigh. With Malaysia, the neckline is very awkward. It distorts her features, I think. It just doesn't look right. Malta's look was a very beautiful concept, but it looks too two-dimensional. It needs more three-dimensional elements to make it dynamic. She also flails her arms around way too much. With Martinique, this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about three-dimensional details. So many three-dimensional elements here that makes it beautiful to look at and engaging to the eye. She's also amazing and gorgeous. I'm obsessed with Martinique at Miss Grand International this year. With Mexico, it's giving prize chicken at the fair. I'm low-key in love with the extravagance of the plentitude of plumage of this. I think that it's very grand. For Montenegro, see now, this is too plain. After the chicken dress, you know, you need to step up. Myanmar came out and I thought that it was a beautiful concept, but the undergarments are showing, which is an automatic no for me. I also think that the slit is a bit too high. Things are just off with Myanmar. Nepal's dress was obviously modeled after the flag. I do not think it suits her at all. Netherlands came out and the mesh is definitely there, but not too distracting. Once again, I am pleased with the Netherlands. She pleased me during NatCos and the swimsuit competition as well. New Zealand, I'm sorry to say this, it's just a less good version of India's gown. Nicaragua came out and that thing looks like it would make a good winter blanket. You know the thing I'm talking about. I love this dress on her. The neckline suits her and it's very regal. With Nigeria again, she's wearing black shoes just like Angola, and it cuts off her leg and distracts from the otherwise really cool look that she's wearing. North Macedonia, even if the dress wasn't the same silver nude gown we've seen a million times, her performance is as stiff as a honeymoon. With Palestine, the elements that wrap around that were clearly added afterward, they cheapen the look, if we're being honest. Panama is giving Ghana a run for her money with singing her introduction. Panama! Bright red. Oh my gosh, how beautiful is this red? It's truly radiant and memorable. I loved Panama. See now, Paraguay came after Panama in this red, and see how this red is less radiant. Also, I really don't like this neckline and the top of this dress in general. It's just a bit awkward. Peru, our injured queen, wearing a crinoline upside down for some reason. It just looks awkward and like a cheap addition to an otherwise adequate dress. The Philippines came out and there were so many stunning red gowns at this preliminary competition, but this one, how gorgeous and unique is this? The shoulders, so stunning, and I love how she owns this look. That's the most important part. I love how she completely owns this look. Portugal's bodice is way too long. It makes her shape very awkward. I don't know, it's just giving Big Bird's pink cousin. I don't know what this is. With Puerto Rico, I don't love how the nude skirt underneath just stops mid-thigh and we're meant to pretend like we can't see it. It's very beautiful otherwise. Singapore's dress, I feel like is a bit too big for her. Her performance was really struggling as well. Slovak Republic, beige gown, beige performance. Moving on. South Africa came out and this mesh so clearly does not match her skin. Which is the point of mesh, is to blend into the skin. It's supposed to mesh with the skin, you know. Such a gorgeous gown. Such a gorgeous gown. Imagine if the mesh did its only job by blending into her skin. I'm genuinely upset at this oversight. South Korea came out looking like a pretty pink flamingo. I like how weird this is, kind of. Is it crown worthy? No, but it's interesting to look at, right? Spain was looking very royal. You know, there's something very royal about this and I like it. It's very grand coded color wise. Sri Lanka's performance was very, very careful. The dress was also not interesting enough to make up for a bland performance. With Sweden, why is she carrying the dress? What is going on in the middle of this dress? Why does it come with a shelf? So many questions. With Chinese Taipei / Taiwan, it was okay, I guess. Tanzania, guys. Now this is what I'm talking about. The mesh blends mostly. You know, it's not so in your face so that it's distracting. How gorgeous is she? Thailand, guys. The absolute queen vibes of this. She isn't just a beauty queen. You know, with this, she is literally a celestial being. Trinidad and Tobago, what on earth is this collar wing situation? What's going on here? I'm sorry, they just look bad. She would be much, and I mean much, better off without it. Turkey came out looking gorgeous. It's very simple, but I don't know, for me it's just enough. She looked like such a dream girl in this. With the UK, guys, I am not going to lie, I feel like every detail of this look was meticulously planned. How gorgeous. And the roses, you know, roses are such a symbol for England. I adore this. The US Virgin Islands came out and this is a good dress in theory, but this particular contestant is not pulling it off. The dress is wearing her. With the USA, what a beautifully unique gown. I was disappointed in her careful and stiff performance, but I loved the look overall. Venezuela came out looking very grand indeed. I love this scalloped detailing on the train. It's a lot to take in and it's giving Duolingo owl a little bit, but she does pull it off somehow. For Vietnam, this is such a memorable look for me. It's not often that we see such cool toned steel color on stage. Zambia, the dress is too short. If we're going to be honest, it would be perfect if it reached the ground and had a bit of a train. With Zimbabwe, her shoes are really high. I was fearing for her life, but how gorgeous is this dress? There is something so beautifully feminine about Zimbabwe's candidate. She just radiates warmth and femininity. And that concludes the Miss Grand International 2025 preliminary evening gown competition. There were some girls who really pulled out all of the stops at this year's Miss Grand International preliminary competition for me, and there were some hard flops, both when it came to look and performance in my opinion. But guys, I am just so excited for the finals now because I already had my core group of favorites going in, but it feels like after following all of the events and stuff, especially the preliminary evening gown competition and even with the costume competition a little bit, you just get to see all of the girls side by side, and then that helps you to decide who you think is going to win and who your true favorites are. And I have to say, I have so many favorites right now and I need to get working on my final prediction, so we'll have to see about everything. Let me know what you guys think about everything. I know this video was a lot to take in, but I want to know you guys' opinions. Let me know who your favorites were and who I'm sleeping on. I'd love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe and I will see you in the next one.